Book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Perez Collision Center is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks and Albuquerque Boxing. Perez Collision Center offers expert knowledge on any of your auto body and paint needs. Give them a call today, 505-254-4655, or stop by for a visit at 2415 2nd Street Northwest in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Perez Collision Center.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rawlins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Welcome to Red Menace TV. Well, Red Menace TV is still on summer vacation, and this is a Cage Minds takeover. I'm Micah Frankel. This is going to be the place where we talk about people getting punched in the face. We have a lot to talk about, a lot on the national scene, boxing and MMA. We got boxing coming up locally. A little hint into who our guest will be. He's headlining the August 17th card at Embassy Suites. We'll be getting to him in just a couple moments, and we're going to have him here for a while on this week's show. But before we get to that, we do have highlights to get through, some big knockouts from last weekend. So whenever Alden's ready, we're going to start taking a look at the action that we had. UFC Fight Pass, prominent boxing prospects in action. You had Eric Walker defeating Jose Antonio Abreu by TKO, improving to 19-2. Friday morning, move on to One Championship, Dawn of Heroes. This was a huge event, kicked off with LFA welterweight champion, former champion James Nakashima, pounding on UFC vet Yushin Okami. The former title challenger would suffer a knockdown, and then the wrestler would be able to have his way taking down Okami, imposing his will en route to maintaining his undefeated record, collecting the unanimous decision. Just a matter of time before James Nakashima is challenging for that one welterweight strap. Flyweight Grand Prix action, Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson continuing to roll, continuing to show his domination. It was a plethora of techniques, showing off his striking and his grappling, overwhelming and punching his ticket now to the Flyweight Grand Prix finals. DJ living up as advertised over in One Championship, showing that he is one of the most dominant mixed martial artists on the planet. Second time is the charm. Eddie Alvarez punches his way into the win column with a submission victory of former 2-time lightweight champion Edward Furlong. Alvarez able to get the fight to the ground, takes the back, sinks in the rear naked choke, punching his ticket to the lightweight Grand Prix finals after that stumble in the quarterfinals due to injury of his opponent that beat him in the quarterfinals, Alvarez into the semifinals. A Muay Thai title on the line in the co-main event, and we have a new champion. You're seeing Ratang Jitsun defeat Jonathan Haggerty by decision, become the ONE Super Series 135-pound Muay Thai world champion. Then we move on to the main event. Defending champion there on top, Martin Hewen once again retains his one featherweight champion, does so by TKO, defeating Koimi Matsumi. It was a powerful kick to the body that led to this ground exchange, getting the finish, defending his champion, the former multi-division champion, able to hang on to his belt, won championship, the biggest mixed martial arts organization on the other side of the planet. Friday, we also had boxing on Fight Pass. Roy Jones Jr. You saw his company present Eva Wallstrom versus Ronica Jeffrey. It went 10 rounds. It's a split draw, and Wallstrom, in the end, is able to retain her WBC title. I believe a rematch is going to be in quick fashion. A great fight, ultra close one there. They need to do it again. Friday night on Access TV, we had LFA from the Bomb Factory in Dallas, Texas. Eliza John starts the night off with a 25-second knockout of Aaron Webb, the brother of recent UFC signee Miles John. Elijah, another beast to be reckoned with, showed off his hands and a sharp knee up the middle to collect that knockout victory. Another top featherweight prospect, another top prospect coming out of Fortis MMA, making waves there in Dallas, Texas. This was John's debut on the main card. He had been on the undercard a few times for LFA. Here we go to the co-main event. After losing her pro debut, Haley Cohen, the former Division I tumbling and gymnast, is continuing to improve in dominant fashion against Bellator vet Jessica Middleton, able to take the fight to the ground, do what she wanted, showed off major improvements in her control and ability to land ground and pound. Probably in short order, Haley Cohen could be on her way to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. I think they're trying to build that flyweight division, and she looks to be one of the top prospects we have out there. The main event, the show opened with a 30-second knockout, and we closed with an under 30-second knockout. Solo Hatley Jr. there, going down from the right hand of Austin Lugo. The fight came together as the co-main event was bumped up to the main event after Levi Mouse missed weight by more than 6 pounds. What you have there is a dominant performance, the right hand. Lugo coming to brawl immediately. Lugo, a teammate of John's. You can see Lugo fighting for that LFA title in short fashion. Love to see him against Jackson Wink prospect Andrew Tennyson. That'd be a great one for the LFA featherweight title. In the ring, you saw also on DAZN, Anthony Flowers now moves to 10-1, defeating Brian Rose by decision. A dominant performance to get back into the win column from Rose, who had stumbled in his last fight. You have Michael Connell getting a TKO victory on ESPN Plus, taking out Alberto Ruiz. Connell moves to 11-0. Ruiz falls to 21-1. Connell looking to get in the top contention. That was a top-ranked boxing bout on ESPN Plus. You also had on Fox PBC action, you had Jean Pascal Devastating right hands connecting over and over again. A clash of heads opens up a cut on Pascal, but the technical decision, goes in his favor to become the new WBA interim light heavyweight title holder. That moved us up to the big boys in the main event, where Adam Kownacki remains unbeaten, moving to 20-0, defeating Chris Arreola by decision. A heavy-hitting affair, a record-breaking number of punches landed between the two parties. An active heavyweight fight. Wasn't a loading up one-punch heavyweight fight. Incredibly entertaining action there on Saturday night. You also had the UFC on Saturday night. Unfortunately, it got started with Jordan Espinosa getting submitted by Matt Schnell. Espinosa was looking good on the feet early, got caught, reacted in for a takedown, was able to fight his way out of a guillotine choke, but could not escape the triangle choke, getting submitted. You also saw a big left hook from Narasat Hagerpest, able to knock out Joaquim Silva. It was that body kick, then came back upstairs with the left hook. Clean knockout, big waves there from the TriStar product. In the co-main event, Clay Guida would sting Jim Miller, would then get stung by Jim Miller, would dive in for a takedown, and would get put to sleep right here in this guillotine. A huge moment for the New Jersey native. Guida had been on a roll, winning 3 of his last 4. Now that's where Miller is. A great bout that was long anticipated between a pair of Octagon veterans. He may be the most annoying man in the UFC, but he also has an incredible work ethic, put on a tireless pace, and was able to outwork Robbie Lawler. Colby Covington had the trumps ringside, came out to Kurt Angle's You Suck theme song, and is as annoying as could ever be. Colby Covington, though, victorious, should now align himself for a heavyweight or for a welterweight title shot at Kamaru Usman. The two had to be separated by security on the post-fight show on ESPN+. Whether you like him or not, Colby Covington, at this point, is pretty entertaining in the world of MMA and is now a title challenger. The former interim welterweight champion is now the #1 contender and is next up to challenge Kamaru Usman, something that pleases Leon Rocky Edwards very much, as now Edwards can get his desired bout against Jorge Masvidal, something that should be coming up soon. And in breaking news, I mean breaking news from last night, Holly Holm, many people wondering and speculating what is the future going to hold for the former multiple-time boxing champion, the former UFC women's bantamweight champion. Holly Holm is going to be returning to the octagon immediately. October 5th, returning to the scene of where she scored her biggest victory, knocking out Ronda Rousey. Holly Holm returns to Australia for UFC 243, where she will be in a rematch against Raquel Pennington, who she beat by split decision in her octagon debut back some years ago. That was our breaking news that we just had come up last night. Now, as we can look forward to this weekend, we have a whole lot of events. We got one more slideshow to show you guys. PFL action Thursday night. The Pro Fighters League is going to be featuring heavyweight and light heavyweight action. You can see that on ESPN Plus and ESPN2. Friday night, UFC Fight Pass has Invicta FC 36. Pam Sorensen, Caitlin Young vie for the Invicta FC Women's Featherweight Championship. The card at the bottom, the first 4 fights, tons of prospects, veterans at the top of the card. Later on that night, Fight Night Fights. We're talking about kickboxing action. UFC vet Josh Sampo in the ring. ESPN Plus on Friday night, or ESPN Plus on Saturday, excuse me. You have some boxing action. Jason Sosa, 22-3-4, takes on Haskell Rhodes, who's 27-3-1. Saturday on the Zone, Virgil Ortiz Jr., unbeaten at 13-0, takes on Antonio Orozco, 28-1. That's a 10-rounder. Free on YouTube Saturday, Bare Knuckle Boxing Fighting Championships. Jim Allers, Leonard Garcia in the main event. Arnold Adams, UFC vet. Chase Sherman, Bare Knuckle FC heavyweight title fight is the co-main event, not to mention Albuquerque's own Isaac Valley Flag taking on former Jackson's teammate Melvin Gillard. Also that card, all free on the Bare Knuckle FC YouTube page. As far as the UFC goes, Saturday, they're in Uruguay, heading to another South American country. It's Valentina Shevchenko defending her women's flyweight title against Liz Carmouche. They fought on the regional scene in California some years ago, a fight that Carmouche won by second round TKO, referee stoppage from a cut in between rounds. It's going to be a big one. I'm favoring the champion. The co-main event is a welterweight affair, Vicente Luque versus Mike Perry. A lot of South American talent debuting on this card as the global expansion for the Ultimate Fighting Championship continues. That card available for you on ESPN+. Didn't mention it. Also talking about last week's highlights. We don't really have highlights from it, but you did have Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series last night. 3 more contracts doled out, and unfortunately, Harvey Park was not successful in his effort to attain one of those contracts. Park losing by a second-round TKO to Omar Morales in the main event. A leg kick looked to have injured Park's left leg. Well, a kick early in the fight. Park looked to have landed to the elbow of Morales, injured the leg. The leg kicks wore on it. Park fell down and was finished by punches. I'm sure that we'll be seeing fight back in action really soon. He's still the LFA lightweight champion. We'll be returning to Access TV. For full results from this past week, Week 7 of Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series, go to CageMinds.com. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the local scene, and we'll have a special guest joining us for the rest of the show. More of the Cage Minds takeover of Red Menace TV in just a moment.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com.
Finding his forward with the right hand, a left and then a right, and this one. By Sanchez, and right back on a right hand. They'll exchange it. Good combination now for Pitbull. There's. Torres says, let's go. He says, come get me. And the crowd will boo. And now, fight of this, hasn't he? Oh. There's a great combination. And now I think you're seeing this. Here, a minute to go in round 1. And then a right hand. You see Ramirez switch. Well, there's a good answer right back. That's a great combination for Griego to end it. Look at the quick combination. Nice left. Third round. 2 minutes to go in round 3. Benavides puts Ramirez down. A shot to.
Gentlemen, your winner, the Pitbull, Josh Morris, ladies and gentlemen.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters! It's like it never happened!
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
The Barley Room, a proud sponsor of ProView Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Perez Collision Center is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks and Albuquerque Boxing. Perez Collision Center offers expert knowledge on any of your auto body and paint needs. Give them a call today, 505-254-4655, or stop by for a visit at 2415 2nd Street Northwest in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Perez Collision Center.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
We're back. We're going to have more face-punching talk, but for right now, we want to take that focus towards the local scene. We've got another little slideshow to show you guys, just to get you a reminder of what's coming up here on our local scene. Coming up, August 17th, Embassy Suites. Fidel Maldonado Jr., the Atrisco kid, is in the main event. Donald Sanchez is returning to the ring. Santi Giron is hoping finally to make his professional debut. First time that didn't work out so well. Weird backstage incident that led his opponent to, I guess, flee. We have Liana Martinez also on the card. The following weekend, head up to Buffalo Thunder Resort and Casino. You can see the event right here on ProView Networks. Legacy Boxing Promotions presents Reigning Thunder, Joaquin Zamora in the main event. Co-main event will feature Joe Gomez Martinez, Aztec, New Mexico, against Arturo Crispin. We're talking about Las Vegas, New Mexico. Then August 31st, MMA action, Las Cruces, New Mexico, Southwest Brawl 10. American Fight League heavyweight title in the main event. Randy McCarty, Mono Otero, their second meeting. I was there the first time in Berlin. It will be a banger. Also amateur middleweight title fight. Then September 28th, after a couple weeks off, there's a double dip of MMA action. Southwest Mixed Martial Arts Series 29 taking place at Buffalo Thunder Resort and Casino. The same night as Force of One Fighting Championships number 6 goes down at the Clovis Convention Center. Something going on there for Western New Mexico. Now, as I said, we're going to have a special guest today, and joining us to talk about his upcoming main event here on August 17th, we got the Atrisco kid with us, Fidel Maldonado Jr. What's up, sir? How you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Man, it's good to see you. Looking slim. I guess the plans to move down in weight, that is continuing, that is going to fruition?
Oh, yeah, you know what? I've been walking around within 5 pounds in weight for like the past month. So I feel like I can make 130.
Right now, what's this fight set for?
135.
So 135, first time at 135, I believe, right?
No, the one in January was at 135.
Okay, so feeling good there again?
Yeah, I feel better because the first one was more of like a trial, see if I could still do it. And the last one was at 138, 39, and I felt strong. I thought I did a good performance. I hope to outdo that one this time.
So now walking around at 138 pounds, how different do you feel? Just how do you feel?
My definition of fat is different because like I gain a couple of pounds and I'm like, oh, I'm fat. But like thinking like even 2 years ago, I used to get crazy fat compared to what I am now, and just I feel healthier, feel better, feel stronger, honestly.
Man, our first interview, when I was working for that other website back in the day, back at your first house, I think you were trying to get to 147, that one, and your dad was talking about how big boned you were and how hard some of these cuts were on you. And now we're talking about 17 pounds lower. How much of a trip for you is that?
It's crazy, you know. I just like, I used to have trouble making 140, and like now I'm walking around at it like it's not a problem, but everything is just learning, everything is trial and error. So I'm learning every day, and I just hope I can learn better and come in stronger every time.
How drastically different is your diet, your lifestyle from what it was when we were first doing these interviews?
Just no meat, no dairy, the vegan diet, but I try to go by his guy, Dr. Sebi, try to go by his diet. I don't go by it 100%, but I try to, and you know what, it really helps out a lot.
Now going into the 17th, you got a tough opponent who I believe has some like 33 fights under his belt. So he's matching you up there in experience coming from Colorado. You guys have a similar opponent in common. The last guy you fought, who you defeated, he's lost to. What do you think of the upcoming fight, the upcoming matchup?
He's a tough guy, comes forward. He's been there with some top dogs like Vernon Paris, Juan Diaz. Can't think of who else right now, but he's a tough guy. So I gotta stay on my toes. And we have also another common opponent, Robert Rodriguez, the one he just beat.
Okay.
And I'm not too sure, like he beat him, but in the amateurs that guy was an animal. And me and him had fought twice, we were 1-1. And so that's another common opponent we have. I've seen a little bit of the tape on YouTube. So I just feel ready. I feel ready to go.
And from a boxing philosophy standpoint, how different of a fighter is Fidel Maldonado over these last couple fights? We went from, you went from Canelo to kind of Floyd, I'd say.
Yeah, you know, I'm just learning. I'm not going out there banging no more. And I'm just learning to pick my spots. I'm just studying tape, studying boxers, picking up little things they do. And first off, I've got to say rest in peace to the greatest, Pernell Whitaker. He passed away, but that's one of my favorite fighters. I might even do a little bit of him in there, you never know. But just learning, everything is about learning.
What is it? How is it different in the gym, your preparations to implement this game plan? How different have you been in training to make these transitions in fight night?
What you do in the gym is what you do in the fight. So, you know, we're working real hard. We're not overtraining, because back in the day we used to overtrain and kill ourselves. And my whole team, my dad, Manuel, my brother Taz, they've all been helping me out. And just everything's coming together. I feel great right now, honestly.
You mentioned Manuel Anaya. I mean, one of the unsung heroes, I think, of your camp, because he's there whistling and he's there yelling at you guys, but your dad's the loud guy that we kind of give the attention to a little bit. He's a little more noticeable. How big of a part of your training is Manuel?
You know what? Everyone on my team plays a big role, because you know what? In the mornings I go with Manuel, at nights it's Manuel and my dad and Taz. They put on the body bags, do all that stuff. Like, will help me with my little mistakes that I make, and it's just all, it helps everything come together better. So.
And then that same role, you were in the corner a couple weekends ago for the guy you look over, Matthew Griego. What did you think about his fight? Kind of some varied scorecards there. What did you think?
It was a tough fight for him. You know what? He had like a year off, or almost a year, something like that.
About 10 months, yeah, it's nearly a year.
And I was in and out of the gym. He had injuries and stuff, so no excuses, but he still went out there and got the W. But there's little things he could work on when he goes in the gym, and it's just all learning. Like I said, everything is learning, so as long as he can learn from it and get better, he'll stay improving.
We saw one judge in that fight literally gave every round to the other fighter. As the corner man, you shocked by that?
I was shocked. I thought we took it 4-2, but I guess that I don't know that other guy was watching, but I guess he liked the pressure fighter because that guy just came in and threw wild shots, but he wasn't really hitting. That's where I'm like, okay, we got this, just because he wasn't really landing shots maybe here and there, but Matt was picking his shots and moving, but I could have seen it, especially casual fans seeing it close, but I thought we took it.
Hollywood Ray, in his recap, was incredibly impressed by Diamond Boy's defensive ability, felt that he was slipping punches in mere millimeters. I mean, we're talking about like looking at two cars drifting and how don't they crash. He was impressed with Diamond Boy's elusiveness and head movement. Do you feel that was something that really did take an evolution in his performance?
Oh yeah, you know, if he had just sat there like he used to and he used to get mad and bang with everyone, he could end up getting caught with something stupid, and instead his making a miss or catching shots on the gloves, and like people don't see that stuff. They think, oh, he's getting hit, like, but at the end of the day, you're protecting yourself, and people don't see it as that because most people are casual boxing fans instead of like us that like to watch it and understand it.
And how hard is that also from a judging perspective? If you're in the wrong angle, you see sweat knocking off, you think a guy got hit, you can't tell if it was just the glove nudging. Some of that also does play into the judging factor, I think, of the sport.
Oh yeah, there's different angles in the fight that all the judges see, so, but I still don't see how they had him winning every round.
That was definitely something that I couldn't understand either. How much of the event were you able to take in?
Honestly, I walked in when Lorenzo got his knockout. And I went to the back because I was lost in there. And I was like, hey, how do you get over there? So I went to the back. And then from there, I didn't really watch no one. I watched, well, of course, Matt. And Josh.
And Josh, okay. What did you think? Also, a lot of people had that split decision going either way. What did you think?
You know, it was a tough fight. I honestly believe that Josh is going to stop the guy. I watched a little bit of tape on him the day before, and I was like, Josh should get rid of this guy. But Josh made it hard on himself by staying that guy's distance. And that's what made it a close fight, but I thought he went out there and showed his toughness and kept pushing on him. And that's what won him the fight.
So we're giving it to Josh, but I think, like Pitbull said after the night, a rematch could be in order, and it would make sense.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good fight, a good rematch, and you know what? I think Josh will go out there and do better this time out because he knows his guy.
You mentioned that you walked in during Lorenzo's knockout. How amazing is it seeing his transition, what he's been able to accomplish and do as he's transitioned from the amateurs up to the pros?
He's doing better, and he's going down in weight, which is a good thing because he's a small guy, but you know, he can take a shot, and he's elusive, which is crazy. He's elusive in there, and he goes out there and look at what he's doing out there with these big guys. Imagine someone his size.
Exactly. I don't know if there's anybody better that we have on the local scene in boxing, better at getting on the inside, better on employing their game plan. You know coming in that with his reach disadvantage, with his size, what he likes to do is get on the inside and bomb with you, and none of these bigger guys have been able to stop it.
Yeah. It's crazy. I think it throws everyone off, though, because they think, I'm just going to keep this guy at range and take care of him. But instead, he gets in and he does his work, and congrats to him on that last one.
It shows you that the sweet science is not all about finesse. It's about skill, too. We'll hear more about the skill side of his game when we get back. More of Fidel Maldonado Jr. in just a moment.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 10,000 homeowners improved their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or DreamStyleRemodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rawlings, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog! Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
The Barley Room, proud sponsor of ProView Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Perez Collision Center is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks and Albuquerque Boxing. Perez Collision Center offers expert knowledge on any of your auto body and paint needs. Give them a call today, 505-254-4655, or stop by for a visit at 2415 2nd Street Northwest in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Perez Collision Center.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Back with more Cage Minds Takeover of Red Menace TV, and Fidel Maldonado just reminded me as we went to break, God bless and best wishes to everybody that's been the tragedy of the recent shootings here throughout America. Let's come together and stop the gun violence as a country. Now we're back to talk about punching each other in the face, but we do it for sport, right, Fidel?
Yeah.
All right, so we've been talking about a lot of different topics, but I wanted to get back to the technical changes that you've made. So, in what you're doing in the gym, have you changed the amount of bad work, mitt work, to sparring that you've been doing in these recent camps?
Mainly sparring, we don't really spar as much. It's more mitt work, bag work, and just working on the techniques. Like, I've always had them. That's why I was at nationals and literally like the finals and all that at the nationals. But I got away from it once I went pro because I fell in love with knocking people out. So I just decided to bang with everyone, and now taking the break and getting back, I'm getting back to what I used to do kind of, and apparently it's working. It's working out just fine.
How much of an alluring kind of drug is the knockout?
There's nothing better than it just ending it early. But you know, we trained for all the rounds, but just getting the knockouts, there's nothing better than everyone cheering for you. It's like a drug, I guess, like a high. But you just gotta ignore the crowd and go out there and do my job.
And you said you've been watching a lot of film. Did you change the boxers that you've been watching as you changed the style a little bit?
Yeah, I do, but I always gotta watch my favorites, like Andre Ward, Manny Pacquiao, Pernell Whitaker, of course.
Well, see, maybe that's some of the problem. You're going from a really elusive guy in Parnell to you're like, wait, now I got these two power punchers and Manny and Andre. Is that kind of the conflict, trying to be all those guys that you admire?
No, not really. It's just like picking little things that they do. And like they say, there's a time and a place for everything. So certain times in the ring that you could do stuff. Like even Mike Tyson. Like everyone thinks Mike Tyson's this big old killer, but he had a lot of technique and the way he did things. Like there was a reason why he did stuff. And I studied a lot of him too, and just doing his style, like, I only could do it in spots, just because I'm not like too comfortable with it. But his style's crazy, and just like studying those styles and trying to implement them in what I do it's hard at times, but that's why we work in the gym.
And I remember we were both younger. Mike Tyson, he was knockout artist. He was this vicious, just knockout artist. That's what we all remember. It's funny to actually go look back at the record books. He has more decision victories than he does knockouts, even though the knockouts were what was polarizing. It's those moments, it's what you remember. So it built up that allure. But he had a lot of technique. He really did a lot with beating guys up, also, just in there with his style.
Oh, yeah, to me, he had, who was it, Kevin Rooney and Customato?
Yeah.
That taught him all the stuff, and then once Customato passed away and Buster Douglas and all that, his career went downhill. He got new trainers, and they weren't teaching him the same stuff, so he wasn't the same fighter after that.
And what kind of style would you say you try to, what's your style? What would you name it?
A boxer puncher. But I like to just go in there and bang, but I'm getting better at that, as you guys can see. But it's just going out there, staying calm and sticking to the game plan, whatever. I don't care if it's don't throw a punch for 12 rounds or whatever it is. That's the game plan. That's what I got to go out there and do.
And how much is drilling a part of your training now?
Repetition. A lot of repetition. We do it every day. Like if we're working on one thing that we see that they constantly do or something, we'll work on it for like 2-3 rounds, just that. And trust me, it gets boring. Like I'm like, again. Or even like shadow boxing, like when you work on certain things, you get bored with it. But at the end of the day, it's what saves you if you ever get in trouble with anything.
How do you build that focus, that ability to fight through boredom? Because I mean, we all get bored at our jobs, and that's just the worst thing, not to fight through that 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock hour. How do you do that in the gym?
Just thinking of what it's gonna help with. Go out there, because you know what, I might be bored in that moment, but when it happens in the fight and it works, all of a sudden you get like that light ding, because all of a sudden you're like, dang, it actually works, instead of like, I gotta do this again. I'm like, you know what, it's gonna help, it's gonna help.
And then also with your game, there's a lot of precision, and then also, if you're looking at the t-shirt, a lot of precision with the day job also. So is that kind of by accident where you've went into these two fields where inches, centimeters, they really matter in both of them, I mean.
Oh yeah, you know what, I got into this just because of, a guy used to cut my hair, but I actually fell in love with it. I like doing it, it's fun. And it actually got me being able to talk as good as I could talk right now. Because if you guys, you knew me before I started doing it, and I wasn't really good at talking, so it helped me talk and being able to talk about a lot of different things. And so it helped me with that, and tell them that I'm a boxer, and I've honestly got people that I cut their hair to go to my fights. So it helps them both.
And from before, how's it do on the mental aspect of it? Where, again, you're cutting people's hair. People get pretty agitated. That's a pretty personal thing. So that's your full focus right there. Is it a mental relief to be able to spend that time at the shop and get away from thinking about the daily grind of your training?
Oh yeah, you know what, it's fun, but even with that, like I said, I train in the mornings, so I go into work late and I leave early to go back to the gym.
So it's still always on your mind?
Yeah, it's always there, but when I'm there, it's fun. It's all we do is crack jokes on each other and talk crap.
We've been talking about a lot on the local scene, mentioned a couple names. Outside of your training partner, give us some names, the guys that you've been most entertained watching here recently on the local scene.
Angel Perez, of course. He's been a beast. He just knocked out, who was the last guy that was supposed to be a tough guy.
Man, he's taking out some guys with some big records. They keep finding dudes from Mexico that they're bringing up. And it's going to be interesting to see the progression when we get him in a 6-rounder, right?
Former world title challengers is what they are, and he's taking them out like nothing, so big ups to him. I've actually had like a couple of sparrings with him. It's fun work. And then on the main event of that card, Joaquin Zamora, a guy I looked up to when I was coming up.
How cool is that to see him back in the ring?
You know, it's real cool. I can't wait, but first I got to handle my business, and then I want to go check them all out.
And man, I can just imagine on the 24th up there, you can see it right here on ProView Networks, with Joaquin in the ring there at Buffalo Thunder. It's going to be a hype atmosphere. I remember when they had him in the ring at Camel Rock, a smaller venue, and it still blew the roof off the place. When you get one of the locals right there in the ring, it's going to be something huge. We're going to take one more break, and then when we come back, we're going to wrap up. We're going to talk about big-time boxing and get Fidel's thoughts on some of what's going on and some of the biggest fights that might be going on this year.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or DreamStyleRemodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rawlins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Car Crafters, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
The Barley Room, a proud sponsor of ProView Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's continue our conversation with the Etrisco kid, Fidel Maldonado Jr. I want to talk about what's going on the world stage of boxing. And the heavyweight division right now has become prominent again. Do you recognize the lineal champion?
Tyson Fury?
Do you recognize that verbiage, lineal? Do you recognize it as a pro boxer?
No. I don't know. To me, it's just the best should be fighting the best. Like you said, we're going to talk about organizations and all that. To me, it's all of that's just for they can make money, take something out of your purse. But like back in the day, there was one champion, and everyone fought for that one belt. I think we should go back to that. The UFC has it, but then they're doing that too, though. Where there's the interim and the super.
Well, you do have the interim, and at least at some point, hopefully, we'll get the interims to face, and there have been some super fights. But in boxing, it does get a little harder because I always wonder it myself. WBC, WBA, WBO, IBF, ring. Which one is more prominent? Which one holds that more allure? And a lot of people have said the green belt. And I even came up with the crazy theory because we just saw IBF had stripped Canelo Alvarez for failing to be able to negotiate with the #1 contender and defend that title against who they wanted. Does it even matter at a certain level for a guy like Canelo, for a Tyson Fury, a Deontay Wilder? If you get to a big enough name category, do you need to even be paying these sanctioning fees and fighting for belts?
To me, no. Look at Mayweather. Mayweather, I forget what fight it was, but they're trying to make him pay the fee, so he just gave up the belt because he didn't want to pay the fees for it. And to me, it's better than paying fees to an organization that's just going to take money from you every time anyway.
Right. If you're one of 6 world champions, that shows a little less luster. I know you're not a huge sports fan, but there's one NFL champion, one NBA champion. Even though in boxing here you have like 16 divisions or something, I believe, at some way. Exactly. You have so many weight classes. You're already saying 16 world champions, and then you go by 6 organizations. I feel like it becomes hard on the fans to also recognize, and then we end up with a situation where a Jason Sanchez and the Oscar Valdez he was fighting. Valdez is a bad man, but I don't know if he gets the recognition of a world champion that other guys do. You end up with that kind of thing where it doesn't mean as much down the line.
Oh yeah, it's just like fighting. You got to fight all the top guys, and instead they fight with certain guys. Like Jason, to me, shouldn't have been fighting him yet. Like a couple more fights, and I think Jason could have beat him. But it's just the more experience. But like they say, moving up to 130 now. So hopefully he fights all the top guys there.
Valdez, right?
Yeah,
he's moved
Valdez,
to 130
yeah.
because they have been talking about Shakur Stevenson, but he said he's opting to move up. So again, right there with Stevenson and Valdez, we don't get a super fight that we were looking for, 2 world champions. One says he's moving up weight classes. So do you think boxing sometimes plays its own worst enemy?
Oh yeah, you know what? Just people have agendas that they're following, and like promotions too. They're like, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and you don't know their whole agenda, so you just.
And not to pick on people recently in the news, but I believe it's Ryan Garcia is basically retained legal counseling against his management, formerly your management, Golden Boy Promotions, because they paid him $50,000 and they've made $1 million. How hard is the business of boxing?
It's real hard. You know what? Boxing, like they say, is a dirty game. It's just you gotta get the right people behind you, because if not, they're gonna short you on money, short you on everything, and you're not gonna get the chances that you should be getting. Like to me, I should have already had a world title shot, because to me, I'd already be a world champion. But I've never had that opportunity. I beat some big guys, I was supposed to fight, like the guy fighting this weekend, Antonio Orozco. I was supposed to fight him. He pulled out the day of weigh-ins, and the fight didn't happen. He wasn't charged. They didn't, what is it called?
Fine?
Yeah, they didn't fine him, nothing. And now he's fighting again. And he's fighting another top guy. But I never had those opportunities. He even fought Jose Ramirez for a world title. I've never had opportunities. If I beat someone, it was, oh, you gotta fight this guy now. You gotta fight this guy. Instead of give me my shot. But Jason got a shot, and I think he'll work his way back up. And hopefully Josh soon, because he just won the belt.
The WBC Silver Latino title, so that should have him pretty close to being ranked by the WBC, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. So we got the guys from Albuquerque coming up, winning, getting their shots. Hopefully I get mine soon, but if not, I'm going to stay working.
You said it's a dirty game. I got to disagree with you there. It's a dirty business. It's also a dangerous business. Now, we saw, and it's a tragedy, horribly. Recent, just a couple weeks ago, we saw 2 different fighters within a span of a couple days tragically lose their lives from injuries sustained during the fights.
I seen that. There's 2, and there's this other guy, I think it was in Mexico. He was supposed to fight that weekend or something, and from a sparring session, he got hospitalized in an induced coma. Not too sure the name or who it was, but I seen it on Boxing Scene.
How do you deal with the gravities of those kind of consequences that you're not playing a game? You're not a basketball player. You're not a football player. You are a boxer going into a combat sport. How do you deal with that?
You know what? Anything can happen. You're taking that chance, of course. You can get hit wrong and you could die, but I go outside this building right now and go get hit by a car because of a drunk driver or something. So that's always going to happen, but we just got to have the right people behind us, the right people in our corner, the right refs, and all that, so in case they see something, they can stop the fight.
We've seen in years that glove sizes have been changed, and actually from the old school, I think they used to go 21 rounds. We're down to 12 rounds. Do you feel that there's any other adjustments that you could think of necessarily currently that need to be made that could make the sport as safer if possible?
Honestly, I'm not really, I can't really look into that stuff like crazy. It's just go out there and do your job, and just, to me, it's your team's job to make sure that you're 100%, that you're feeling good, you're doing good, even in the fight. Even the one where the boxer died right after he got out of the ring. I can't think of the name, but Buddy McGirt was his trainer, I think. And he stopped the fight, and he gave him a chance, show me something. And
they'd even stopped the fight a round or 2 early, I believe. And still that tragedy happened, so you really never know.
You never know what could happen. Even, what's his name, Fisher Colon?
Right, who was unbeaten. I even think the other kid that we can't remember his name that McGirt stopped was 13-0, unbeaten. That was a title eliminator. Again, this is not a game. There's serious consequences to this sport. But it's still a beautiful sport, right?
Oh yeah, I seen a quote the other day. It says, boxing saves more lives than it takes, which I think is true. People could be out there fighting or getting shot, being in gangs or whatever, but instead they're in the gym. So it saves a lot of lives, but at the same time, it's just all about, we gotta get the protection and make sure everyone's good. Everyone got to take their breaks in boxing, because if not, the doctors tell me, after a fight, you should take a little break, because if not, it could cause brain damage and all this and that. So, before, a day off, 2 days off was my thing. And
in some ways, we're leaving that old school kind of hard training mentality behind, and you got to focus on some of those newer tests and newer scans they have, and allow the recuperation period for your body that you probably weren't doing in the amateurs, right?
Oh no, yeah, and then in the amateurs, you can fight up to 5 times a day. So it was weigh in, fight every single day, and that's the nationals. And regionals 2 times, state could be 2-3 times. So that's all those fights within 3 months. 3 months time, and you figure your body ain't getting a rest and all that. You need a rest. That's why after a tournament or something, take a rest and get back in there.
It's boxing. It's not a game that we're out here playing. It's a beautiful sport. You can see it on display live again, August 17th. Holmes Boxing, Warriors Collide at the Embassy Suites. Please join us there live. Can't make it out there, you can also see the event the following weekend, Raining Thunder up at Buffalo Thunder, right here on ProView Networks. It's Cage Minds Takeover of Red Menace TV. Micah Frankel, thanks for being here, Fidel.
Yes, sir, of course.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll check you guys out next week.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across